Okay, first of all, I must start with, who here is from Brooklyn, New York? Okay, and whereabouts in Brooklyn?
Marine Park.
Park Club? Gentlemen back there?
Green Point.
Anybody else? Do we know Taylor Ham?
Tell ham.
We eat ham, right? That's not named after anybody. Do we know olive loaf?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we like that little bit of spice. No offense to Taylor Ham, but they tried to put Taylor Ham in the local deli, and there was an uproar. So Taylor Ham left, and olive loaf moved in very well. So, anyway, that be it as it is. I still like my co-host. As I started to say before, well, first of all, I can tell you about myself. I guess I am the head of the writing group in my head. And I enjoy writing, and when I speak to people and they say they like to write as well, I like to get them together. So I formed a group in Mount Arlington, and our dear library director was most helpful. And then I formed a group in Roxbury, much bigger town than this, and we have a large group there. And I would speak to the people who joined, and they would say, "Oh, but I can't write." And every month I gave a blurb that they had to write, or subject, or whatever. They came back the following month with 500, 600 words, these people who said they couldn't write. And I felt good for them, and they felt good as well. So I've continued to do that. We worked through COVID, through Zoom, over Zoom, under Zoom, and we still stayed together. And here in Mount Arlington, we ebb and flow. But we all, those of us who write, we really do enjoy it. Little different than the poetry, but still enjoyable. So, as I said, I've been writing a long time, and some things are accepted, some of my writings, some aren't, can't understand it. I thought it was pretty good, but you know, to each his own. So, I decided when I had this published, that why don't we have a little forum or something, and we'll talk about our writings. We were the only two who decided to come up here and talk to people, so I guess we had some guts. And I think that's a word you use in Jersey also, a little bit of guts. So I'll read, and as the book says, up, down, and all around, life, true or false. So I'm not going to tell you if it really happened, but people enjoyed reading it. So I will start with this one. A memorable haircut. I don't know if my son Matthew back there will remember this, but it'll make jog his memory. A memorable haircut. I remember the incident as if it occurred yesterday, not 40 years ago. Planning a family trip is always exciting. However, being a working mom, whether inside or outside the home, there always seems to be never enough time. This is especially true when organizing a Disney World vacation. For 2 weeks prior to our excursion, I complained daily to anyone in our household, this amounted to 2 adults and 2 children, that our youngest child was in need of a haircut. My usual hairdresser was on unexpected sick leave, and I was reluctant to make an appointment with the stylist at another salon. My husband volunteered to take our son to his barber, but I quickly remembered the last time he took our 7-year-old son to the barber shop. Consequently, I swiftly declined my husband's offer. A crew/buzz cut is out of the question. However, at dinner that night, my husband offered to take care of the cutting problem the next day after school. He promised he would make certain Joseph would receive his usual style. I relented and replied, "Great, one less job to do." By 3 p.m. the next afternoon, the workday was off the tracks. My after-school sitter called me at work to say she had to go home because her mom was ill. My husband phoned to inform me he would be home at 4:30 rather than our agreed upon 4 p.m. time. Although my 10-year-old daughter was capable and trustworthy, I felt uneasy leaving my kids for the half hour it would take my husband to arrive home from work. My next-door neighbors were unavailable to help with caring for the kids. I immediately left the office to return home. Traffic was heavy, so the preconceived quick drive turned into 3/4 of an hour journey. Keep in mind that this event occurred on the cusp of the cell phone age. Therefore, calling home while on the road was not possible. My son's haircut appointment was out of the picture. It was Friday and the hairdresser did not work on weekends. Almost home, I took a deep breath and said to myself, all will work out. I must admit, I was not so silently saying a prayer that all was fine at home. As I drove up the driveway of my house, everything appeared calm. Entering through the garage and opening the door to the family room, I heard the TV. However, it all seemed too quiet. Suddenly, I heard footsteps from the second floor of our split-level home. In the blink of an eye, there was my daughter, standing in front of me with a smile on her pretty face and a sparkle in her eyes. "Mom," she said, hugging me, "close your eyes." Nervously, I asked, "Where's your brother?" "Is everything okay?" "Yes," she replied, "and please close your eyes." In the interim of a few seconds, I heard my 2 children stirring and whispering. I was about ready to open my eyes when my daughter announced that I could do so. Upon doing as she requested, there stood my son before me with his brand new hairdo, sporting pointy bangs. His latest hairstyle was courtesy of his sister. Flabbergasted is the only descriptive word I can use to describe my feelings at that moment. Actually, with my mouth wide open and no words came out for a second or two. Still in shock, I looked at Clarissa and Joseph. They looked at me with glowing faces, indicating how proud they were of themselves. At that moment, I wanted to scream. "What did you do?" But I couldn't scold them yet for taking scissors to hand. They said, "Mommy, now you don't have to worry about bringing Joseph to get a haircut. We helped you out." They went on to explain that they didn't cause a mess. They put newspaper on the kitchen floor with the chair on the paper, put a towel around Joseph so his cut hair would fall on it, and explained they were very careful using the scissors. By this time, my husband arrived home. Upon seeing Joseph's hair, he was stunned as well, but thankful as I was that there were no accidents or injuries to our children. Perhaps as you're reading this tale of a hairstyle, visions of Joseph's new bob are swirling in your head. I must be honest and admit, Clarissa did a decent job cutting and shaping Joseph's very dark brown hair with auburn streaks. He did look cute. The bangs were shorter than usual with a small pointy fringe across his forehead. My husband and I asked if he liked his new haircut, and Joseph replied, "Yes, now we can go to Disney World." I think what he really meant was, "and Mom will be quiet." Clarissa was very proud of herself. After talking to our dear children about our concern regarding the use of a large scissors, and then nodding in agreement, we all went to Friendly's for a family dinner. This gave us the opportunity to discuss with the kids that although what they did was thoughtful in helping us, it was not safe for them to handle a sharp instrument, especially in close proximity to the face. We explained further that they were careful physically, their strength and dexterity had not reached their peak. Our children understood what the consequences might have been. Had Clarissa's hand slipped, it could have caused a severe accidental injury to both of them. No punishment was implemented for the haircutting deed, because Clarissa and Joseph understood the dangerous possibilities that could have occurred. The next day, we left for a very happy week at Disney World. Joseph sported a new hairstyle. Clarissa gleamed with confidence, and the two parents were full of pride for their offspring. Think about it. You have kids. Okay. Hearing. Now, you get to a certain age, and maybe even younger, hearing gets a little difficult. And one day I was really annoyed, so I wrote this. Hearing. Repeat that, please. Have you recently said that phrase? Perhaps too often. Certainly, my understanding reader has experienced this condition. Is it a condition? A sounding board and a nodding of the head is what I am offering to you. Added to the memory loss situation is the distress of hearing failure. In the past 10 years, I have noticed my hearing gradually slip away. Frequently, I would place the blame on the shoulders of Bruce Springsteen, that is. In 1985, my husband and I attended a concert of Bruce Springsteen and the Each Street Band and sat up close and personal to the stage. The huge speakers blasting the live performance of the music from the Born in the USA album tour left me unable to hear for 2 days. Obviously, Bruce Springsteen and his band members are not to blame because I chose to attend the sold-out show and sit 5 rows back from the platform. Wow. Jumping many years forward, upon visiting a hearing specialist approximately 8 years ago regarding my hearing deficit, I mentioned the concert I attended back in the mid-1980s. The specialist suggested that my close proximity to the speakers could have caused the hearing damage. It would appear we do pay the price when we are careless in our health in our younger, immature years. Since that visit to the audiologist, I have become accustomed to wearing hearing aids. Nevertheless, the ability to legitimately hear is rapidly fading. Well, that was then and this is now, friend. Perhaps a cochlear implant will be my next aid in hearing and responding to conversations. Research, which I am now engaged in on the implant cost, will be my next endeavor. Between fading memory recall and hearing gaps in conversations, my vim and vigor for living are exhausting. However, I will do all that is necessary to maintain my health in all areas of my body and mind to encourage me to keep on trucking. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Have you felt that way yourself at times?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so you see yourself there? I hope so. No, not that I want that to happen to you, but at least you don't feel alone. Yeah. So, and this will be the last one. 60. 60. A simple, rounded, pleasing number. In numerology, when combining the energies and attributes of the numerals 6 and 0, 60 becomes a powerful symbol. Separated we are informed. 6, 6 is associated with responsibility, reliability, and stability in life, whereas 0 represents potential, choices, and spiritual passage. As an additional benefit, 0 is known to amplify the influence of the number it appears with. In this instance, we are looking at the figure 60. Place the 6 and 0 side by side. There it is, 60, a perfect combination as indicated by my 60-plus years of friendship with Millie. However, the real understanding of the numeral 60 is looking at the uniting of Rosemary and Bill. 60 years of marriage encompassing joy, parenting, diverse opinions, support, beauty, and sadness, along with a metaphysical passage. This journey together has brought them to the celebration of their 60th wedding anniversary. The digits in 60 have proven to be an ideal blend for them. Anybody at that age? Anyway, that's, as I mentioned to any of you who I spoke to, if you truly feel like you'd like to write, don't think that you cannot do it, because you can. As long as you have a pen, piece of paper, your computer, whatever, do it. You'll be surprised what comes out of you. And understanding friends, it really, it's good therapy also. So, as I mentioned, our books are for sale. Money goes back to the library. And I'm all glad you came out. Do you have any questions? Yes.
I don't have a question or a comment. I wrote a story about when I cut the little girl, my friend who moved across the street, her hair by accident. And I just want to applaud your response to the haircut that your daughter gave her son. Because neither one of the mothers in my story were quite as kind.
You know, and there's Matthew back there in the dark blue.
And on behalf of my sister and myself, we just want to say thank you for shaving a few years off our actual ages when you said only 40 years ago. Thank you. And maybe that's why I have a full head of long hair.
So I thank you all for coming, I really do. Please help yourself to more of the refreshments supplied by our friends and a friend of the library and our director. And
Yes. Also, please enjoy the music. Feel free to ask questions. I know that some people would ask how, another good question maybe to want to ask is how long you have both been writing, and or perhaps starting to journal when you were younger, and as it's progressed in your life. That might be a nice question.